Despite some very real and significant flaws, Star Trek Discovery Season 1 aged better than one might have expected, and might be better than some fans remember. It could be worth taking another look. This season, Season 1 only, let's be clear, is criminally underrated, soaring past the hate it gets while shining brighter than many fans give it credit for. It's bold, it's sometimes brilliant, and I'm about to go full Klingon battle cry to make my case. I want to start with Captain Gabriel Lorca, played by the phenomenal Jason Isaacs. This guy's a war-torn, razor-sharp captain who owns every scene that he's in. He's got swagger, brains, and a dark edge that hooks instantly. He was unlike any other Star Trek captain we had ever seen to that point, but here's the genius. He's from the Mirror Universe. And the show plants clues throughout so cleverly that they're easy to miss the first time through. I remember fans at the time being very critical that Lorca was too militant for a Starfleet captain, his treatment of the giant tardigrade wasn't in keeping with Federation morality, Lorca was inclined to ignore the endangered species regulation when they came across the space whale, but he capitulated to maintain his cover, not because he cared about the whale. Fans that complained about him not feeling like a Star Trek captain were right, but they just didn't know why they were so right. Lorca is weirdly obsessed with recruiting Michael Burnham, a disgraced mutineer. When the show first ran, we were led to think, oh, he sees her potential. Nope. He's playing 4D chess because he knows that Michael Burnham is his key to power. Or check out his ready room full of strange weapons and artifacts. Normal Starfleet captains don't typically collect torture gear. These hints were subtle, and they were woven into the story, and they really pop on rewatch. That's not only good writing, that's next level brilliance. It's like the movie The Usual Suspects or The Sixth Sense, where the clues were there all along, and the brilliance is only apparent when the clues click together. Now let's talk about the main character, Michael Burnham. Sonequa Martin-Green delivers a performance that is raw, gripping, and real. She carries the season quite well. She's a little too emotional maybe, especially for somebody that was supposedly raised by Sarek, but then again, if she really didn't understand how human emotions work living with Vulcans, that might be why she's a little bit more emotional than the average human, and she gets made fun of for having too many tears throughout the show, and that's valid, but her character is quite compelling in Season 1. There's an excellent redemption arc. She starts off as Starfleet's biggest failure, a mutineer who accidentally sparks a war with the Klingons. She's shunned, she's guilt-ridden and broken. However, by the finale, she's clawed her way back to heroism, earning the crew's trust and respect, and rediscovering her moral compass. She receives a well-earned pardon and reinstatement into Starfleet. She goes through a messy, emotional, and beautifully done story arc. Look at Episode 9, Into the Forest I Go. She risks everything, proving she's not just a lost cause, but an actual leader. Her story from zero to hero is one of the best arcs in Star Trek, period. You can call it melodramatic if you want to, fine, but show me a redemption arc that doesn't hit the heart. This is Star Trek, not a math problem. The tone, yeah, it's a little dark, but it's meant to be. The Klingon Federation war is the backdrop, and war is no picnic. In Episode 2, Battle at the Binary Stars, it throws you into a brutal space battle that shows the stakes. Starfleet is getting crushed in the war, and the body count is real. It shouldn't be a fluffy, happy show if that's what's going on. The show leans into the chaos and the moral gray areas of war, and that's a feature, not a bug. It's not grim for shock value, it's about Starfleet testing its ideals under fire. Much like in the Dominion War episodes of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The tone fits the story like a glove, and it's refreshing to see Star Trek go this raw. A lot of people complained about the uniforms, and I'm not really a fan of the look, yet they are a natural evolution from Star Trek Enterprise's jumpsuits. They're sleek and functional, the blue tones and metallic accents, bridge to the original series without copying it. They're practical for a ship like Discovery, a science vessel turned war machine. People complaining that they weren't colorful enough, they didn't quite look enough like the original series, ought to relax. I will grant the criticism that the uniforms change way too often in this era of Star Trek, but I'm focusing on Season 1 here. And let's give a shout out to Harry Mudd. Rainn Wilson is perfect, absolutely perfect as Harry Mudd. He portrays the character as sleazy, a charming con man. In Episode 7, Magic to Make the Sanest Man Go Mad, he's a time-looping menace who's both hilarious and threatening. Wilson nails Mudd's roguish vibe, making him a standout in a season full of heavy hitters. He's not just comic relief, he's a reminder that Star Trek can have fun even in the dark times. He's more villainous than he was portrayed in the original series, but that's fine. The humor in that episode was dark to be sure, but, like Gul Dukat might have once said off camera, dark humor is like food. Not everyone gets it. Now the caveats, because Season 1 is not perfect. The spore drive? Utter nonsense. A ship powered by mushrooms is the dumbest idea since raincoats for Ferengi women. There are so many better ideas than a weird mushroom trip. Then there are the Klingons, the infamous Klingons of Star Trek Discovery. This was a gigantic misfire. The redesign of the species, the way the ships looked, the costumes, the bat'leths, they all looked like an utter travesty. They look like rejected concept art from a fantasy RPG, not Klingons. The bald heads, the over-the-top spiky armor, the weird sarcophagus ship, do they really need 4 nostrils, an oblong head? Just atrocious. And the melodrama in the show can get a little thick as well. Some scenes linger too long on teary eyes or heartfelt speeches, tipping into soap opera territory. Star Trek thrives on emotion, not just logic, but it can be overdone, and Season 1, and the rest of Star Trek Discovery especially, really overdoes the melodrama. The graphic violence of Season 1 was a little over the top as well. Those Klingon torture scenes, yikes, that felt really out of place. I didn't particularly want to see Klingon nipples during a rape sequence. Star Trek doesn't need graphic gore to tell a story, it's about ideas, not blood. And the profanity? Oof, hearing the F-bombs in Episode 5, Choose Your Pain, is like hearing a kid who just learned how to swear and thinks it sounds cool. I can drop an F-bomb like the best of them, but there's a time and a place. But here's the deal. Much of the criticism, valid as it may be, is overblown. Yeah, the spore drive is dumb, but it's just one element, and the instantaneous travel thing is an integral part of the plot. The Klingon redesign is awful, there's no way around that, but the war storyline hits hard. The melodrama and violence are excessive, but they don't drown out the rest of the show. The good far outweighs the bad. Lorca's brilliance, Burnham's arc, the war's weight, and let's not forget how fantastically awesome Saru is. It was delightful to see Harry Mudd in the show. I enjoyed the Mirror Universe stuff. The good far outweighs the bad. It's a season that took risks, swung and missed a few times, but mostly it connected. Fans who continue to trash the show ought to give it a rewatch with fresh eyes. This season respects the franchise while pushing it into new territory. Sometimes it wasn't perfect, but it was a daring, emotionally packed, excellent show that's worth taking another look at. Sadly, the show chickens out on its own premise and is almost unrecognizable in the later seasons, but that's a video for another day. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think of Season 1 of Star Trek Discovery almost a decade later. Thank you for watching. Eric Wilford Watson signing out.